The winter of 1944 gripped Europe in ice and despair. Snow fell like ash over the Ardennes as a lone Sherman Firefly creeps through a frozen Belgian village at dusk, its long 17-pounder gun wrapped in frost. Inside, 19-year-old trooper Joe Ekins peers through the commander's periscope, breath fogging the cold metal. His gloved hands tremble, not just from the -15 degrees Celsius cold. Ahead, half a mile away, the ground shakes. A King Tiger emerges from the mist, 70 tons of sloped steel, its 8.8 centimeters kilowatt K-43 gun longer than most tanks are wide. The monster's frontal armor is 185 millimeters thick at the glacis, thicker than the vault doors of the Bank of England. German propaganda loudspeakers crackle in the distance, Der Königstiger ist unbesiegbar. The King Tiger is invincible. Joe's crew falls silent. They have all seen what happens next. A burning Sherman Firefly lies gutted on the roadside, its turret blown 20 meters away, crew still inside. Standard Allied armor-piercing rounds simply bounce off the King Tiger like marbles off a battleship. At anything over 800 yards, even the powerful 17-pounder is useless. The Germans know it. They advance slowly, arrogantly, certain nothing can touch them. Joe remembers the briefings. German steel quality had actually improved late in the war. Their plates were harder, more homogeneous, almost immune to cracking. Allied intelligence called the Tiger II practically invulnerable from the front. Tank crews began calling it the Widowmaker. Some British units had orders to disengage rather than fight it head-on. That night, around a flickering petrol heater in a ruined farmhouse, Joe's squadron argues. 5 exhausted British tankers huddle around a tiny flame, faces gaunt, eyes hollow. One sergeant says, "We can't beat it. Best we can do is run and call typhoons." Another spits, "Typhoons can't fly in this weather. We're finished." Joe stays quiet, but inside he feels something worse than fear, helplessness. He had already lost 2 tanks and most of his original crew. Each time he watched his shots spark harmlessly off German armor, a little piece of him died. He stares at a captured German propaganda leaflet showing a King Tiger shrugging off dozens of hits. The caption reads, "1 Tiger equals 10 Shermans." Joe crumples it in his fist, but the words stay burned in his mind. Weeks earlier, in England, a soft-spoken munitions engineer named Dr. Charles H. Charles would sat alone in a freezing test shed at Shoeburyness. A dissected German 88mm shell lies on his workbench, its complex dual-fuse system spread out like a watchmaker's nightmare. Wood had spent years trying to make better fuses, more reliable, more destructive. Then one night he asked the opposite question. What if the fuse didn't need to be clever at all? He remembered a forgotten 1942 project, discarding sabot ammunition with a simple No. 247 base fuse, the same cheap fuse used in anti-aircraft shells. It was crude, lightweight, and had been rejected for being too basic. But when paired with a dense tungsten core and a squeeze-bore adapter, nicknamed the flower pot, it could reach velocities no German designer had planned for, over 4,000 feet per second. The army laughed at it. Rockets were the future. Complexity was king. Wood's simple round was shelved. Yet a handful of officers smuggled a few hundred APDS, armor-piercing discarding sabot, rounds to Normandy anyway, hidden in crates marked experimental. Most tank crews used them once, missed, and went back to normal ammunition, cursing the useless pea-shooter. The rounds gathered dust in ammo dumps. Back in the Ardennes, Joe's squadron receives an unexpected delivery on a supply truck. Wooden crate stenciled APDS, secret, do not drop. The crews gather around, skeptical. A British loader holds up the strange round, a full-size 17-pounder shell with a comically small tungsten core inside a black sabot that looks like a flower pot. Someone jokes, "That's supposed to kill a King Tiger. I've seen bigger nails." Joe picks one up. It's lighter than a normal shell. The base fuse is laughably simple, just a plunger and a spring, the kind of thing you could make in a garden shed. He turns it over in his hands and feels something he hasn't felt in months. Curiosity. That night he can't sleep. He keeps thinking, the Germans built the perfect tank. Maybe perfection itself is the weakness. The 8th of August 1944. A hot, dusty day near the village of Saint-Ignan-de-Cremesnel, Normandy. The battlefield is quiet until 5 king tigers roll forward in perfect formation, turrets traversing slowly, hunting. They are supporting an SS Panzergrenadiers clearing the road to Curran. British forces are in full retreat. Joe Ekins, now commanding a Firefly named Veliki Luki, watches from a hedgerow 1,200 yards away, twice the effective range of normal ammunition. His gunner, Trooper Barker, whispers, "We can't hit them from here, Skip. We'll just give our position away." Joe looks at the crate of APDS rounds. Only 12 left. He makes the call, "Load Sabo." The loader slams one in. The tungsten core glints inside its black plastic petals. Barker shakes his head. "If this misses, we're dead." Joe replies, "Then don't miss." He spots the lead King Tiger, commanded by the famous SS Hauptsturmführer Michael Wittmann, Germany's top ace with 138 kills. Range, 1,200 yards and closing. Wind, negligible. Joe breathes out. On the turret ring, fire. Boom. The gun recoils violently. The Sabo petals peel away mid-flight like a flower opening. The dense core streaks out at 4,000 feet per second, a silver blur too fast for the eye. It covers the distance in less than a second. Crack. The round punches straight through the King Tiger's mantlet, through the gun breech, through the fighting compartment. The simple base fuse, nothing more than a spring-loaded pin, does its job perfectly. The core detonates inside. A jet of flame erupts from every hatch as the ammunition cooks off. The 70-ton beast disappears in a fireball. Wittmann and his crew never knew what hit them. For more tigers swing their turrets in panic. Joe's crew works like men possessed. In 12 minutes, all 5 King Tigers are burning. Black smoke columns rise over the wheat fields as British infantry cheer from their slits. German radio nets explode with disbelief. Feindliche Panzer imite neue Munition. Unmöglich. Enemy tanks with new ammunition. Impossible. News spreads like wildfire. The invincible King Tiger has been killed, at extreme range, by a round using a fuse simpler than a hand grenade. Back in England, Dr. Wood receives a classified signal, APDS effective beyond expectation. Request immediate mass production. The same officers who mocked his crude design now beg for millions of rounds. Joe Ekins is awarded the Distinguished Conduct Medal, but he never brags. When asked how he did it, he always says the same thing: "The Germans built a perfect tank. We just stopped trying to match their perfection." Years later, as a successful engineer, Joe keeps one thing on his desk: a polished No. 247 base fuse, no bigger than a shotgun shell cap. Visitors ask why. He smiles and says, "This little thing killed the strongest tank in the world. Reminds me, when everyone else is building thicker walls, sometimes all you need is a faster bullet and a simpler idea." The King Tiger wasn't defeated by a bigger tank, a better gun, or a genius general. It was defeated by radical simplicity, a cheap fuse, a small core, and the courage to try something everyone else had written off. Moral that echoes far beyond tanks. The most over-engineered fortress in your life, whether it's a habit, a fear, a competitor, or a problem that looks unbreakable, usually has one tiny back door nobody bothered to guard. Find the simple fuse. Light it. And watch the monster burn.